We started thinking about a pond fairly early on, and it started out fairly small. But as I researched it, my plans and aspirations for it got more and more grandiose as we went along. Kind of laid it out with the hose and decided, well, this is kind of the shape that we would want. And then I'd kick the hose out a little further. Then I'd kick the hose out a little further yet. We also originally didn't plan to necessarily have the stream that you see over there. But I decided that it would be nice to have that sound of the water up next to the house because we've got a busy street behind us here and it helps to drown out the sound of the traffic. Got to looking at it and laid out the stream, and I figured out that there was enough slope there just by running a string from a stake at the top down all the way to the bottom and put a level on the string, and figured out there was enough slope there to actually make water run. Then I started to dig. The thought of putting a pond on the side of an old Canadian chokecherry tree was a good one in theory, but in practice it turned out to be kind of a bad idea. Those things have a lot of roots and a lot of suckers, so the digging of it took probably 3 or 4 months, but it was all hand dug. Would have been much easier to rent some great big equipment and come in and do it, but it was all pretty much hand dug. And another problem was where to put all the dirt, because when you make a big hole you get a big pile. And we managed to spread it around the yard, use it around the house. A lot of it went into that flower bed over there. So we've used it to kind of sculpt the lawn and do some things that way. The other big worry when we got the hole dug was the fact that it did have all those roots and stuff, so we wanted to make very certain that we protected the liner of the pond. The roots and stuff, I chopped them back as far as I could within the confines of the pond, and then we actually bought a commercial pond liner, or a commercial pond pad to go underneath the liner to help protect it. So it's a commercial liner and a commercial pad. The liner goes all the way up to the waterfall, comes down, and then spreads out, and it's this whole area here has got the pond liner in it. Of course, you get the sound of the water, the fish, the element within your landscape that a water feature brings. The negative is that there's always maintenance involved and there's expense involved. I've replaced the pump several times. I have to, about once a year, get in there and just kind of clean out the extra debris that get in there. If you get too much organic material in your pond, it's going to harm the pond and cause algae blooms and things like that. So don't try to do it all at once. You'll burn yourself out, and then if you are going to do it yourself, trying to tackle everything all at once will just make you tired. Well, I guess a word of advice to anybody who's considering doing a pond or doing major work within your yard is that if you're not going to want to do the stuff yourself, make sure you hire somebody who's got some experience and who is good at making your vision of your backyard become what you want it to be.